And thanks. I know before Arnaud starts, we had a couple of hands being raised, but as you said, please type your questions into the chat box so that we can address them afterwards, or towards the end of the session.
Thank you.
Can you hear me, Ronald?
Yes, go ahead, Arnaud.
Okay, good afternoon and bonjour, everyone. So I will cover like relatively of your portfolio. So I will put my chronometer to be on time, to not go over time. So just to go through my slide, I will just go to the next one. So do like an intro. I will present the scanning hardware portfolio as well as the software portfolio, because we are not making boxes, we are making solutions. I think that's key for all of you. And then I will show you some of the highlights, some of what's inside. And I think we'll organize like later on like another like deep dive into 3D scanning that we will do. And then I'd like to cover some application where people use Trimble scanning solution and why too. So a quick introduction about the portfolio. So again, we have our hardware that I will go into some details, but you should never forget software. So field software for capturing data. And we made like a new one for a new workflow that will help people who sometimes were scared to use 3D scanning because they thought it was too exotic, too complex. That is in fact very easy to use and to get all your data right in the field. And then after in the office to process your data, also like to export to third-party software of your choice. So I don't like to speak about specification because specifications are just one key part of the solution, but it's always important for you to know. So we have like a full portfolio of solution. But again, it's very dangerous to just look at datasheet. It's very important to see the instrument in action in the field, because you never do like one project from one scan, except maybe if you do like a tank from time to time. But usually you have to move around, and so you have to take into account the specification, but also like the time spent on site, what type of data you collect on site, what can you get from the field, and also like calibration. Are your instrument well calibrated so that can deliver data according to specification and so on. So we cover all this. Just a few words about me. So started scanning a long time ago now, and I went through the evolution of 3D scanning, and so that's why I'm talking about this to you today. So of course, if you have any question, I used to go and I still go quite a lot into Africa, which is a continent I love. And sometimes I don't like when people just say Africa. There is like 54 countries in Africa. So there is many places to visit, and they're fantastic. But the hardware portfolio, we could just speak about specification, but the Trimble X7 was like a revolution in the scanning market. As I said, I started scanning a long time ago, like 25 years or more. But and the first time I used the X7, I was blown away because in the past we had to place target, we had to be very careful about what we do. We didn't know what we were getting in the field. But with the Trimble X7, for the first time, you could do like one scan, move to the next one, and see, oh, this being registered on the fly, and that was magical. And so that's why we had that Trimble Registration Assist. Also the laser pointer, which is very unique, that will allow you to measure like single point, which is like a huge benefit, because otherwise to do that in the past, you had to have like a total station with you, for example, which you don't need. And one of the key features, but I will mention it after, is a Trimble X Drive, and I will talk about it just after. The Trimble X9 is our latest release, so that's really to complete the evolution of a scanning portfolio with the Trimble X9 that really plays itself very well to allow you to tackle as many jobs as you can, because as we know, 3D scanning is not just limited to what it was in the beginning to scanning piping. 3D scanning is like very versatile, like a GPS and so on. It has evolved, and you can tackle a broad type of application nowadays. Trimble X12 is also like one that we released like last year for high accuracy, high speed, and for like a very special application that we can see where the need of high accuracy is needed, but also high quality of images. The last one is one that I really love a lot, the Trimble SX12. It's not a scanner, it's a 1 second total station, but with fantastic scanning capabilities, as well as sometimes we forgot to mention, but fantastic imagery. And actually, I was on a big project a few weeks ago, and really people love the SX12, not just specification, but the quality of the images, the fact you can import a 3D model in the field, an IFC, do augmented reality, and then there is a list of all things you can do with it. But if you want more information, please, it would be a pleasure from the Optron team to get back to you, show you the system in action. That would be really the best. But just to give you some example, like we talk about tunnels. This is in my country, that's in Paris. This is the Eiffel Tower. The SX12 is just here to measure some scaffoldings, windmills, and as well as tunnels for the metro, and many more applications like construction industry and so on. So very, very versatile instrument that I encourage you to have a look at. So I briefly talk about hardware. Again, I'm not doing like a deep dive because our goal is to do a next virtual academy that will be focused on reality capture. So it's just to give you like a feel, a glimpse about what we have for you. And so software is also like something very key for all of you. It's one thing to buy a box from someone, that's a scanner, you collect data, and then what? What do you do with all that data? Never forget that. And it's the same for GNSS, for total station. Collecting data is one thing, then it's what do you do with those data? And then how do you provide your data to your customer? Always keep that in mind, that's very key. So that's why we say, and we believe, and people trust that we have the right solution for the right application. So starting with Tumor Perspective. So that's really the software that revolutionized 3D scanning data collection. Today, you have many scanners on the market. You will collect data, you will pre-register, you will do things, and all of them are pretty good. But the Tumor X7 on Perspective and X9 are by far the best because you have control. You can make sure before you leave the job site that you collected everything you need. You can guarantee also the quality of the data. You can guarantee the quality of the data in the field. And that's not to be taken lightly. It's very, very important. We'll cover that after. Tumor Realworks is my baby, I could say. We started it a long time ago. It's a software that we made for registering all type of scan data, but also to be able to extract information like 3D modelings, doing like inspection, which is like a big topic nowadays, to be able to inspect and compare between day one and day two. It's like monitoring, but using 3D scanning, but also compare with a 3D model as well. We see more and more people having the need to do like inspection and comparing. And then TBC, Tumor Business Center. So Dennis will cover this, so I will save time on this. Perspective. I just have a few words, but we will do a deep dive on Perspective. But something that you can see, like geo-referencing in the field. You can do diagnostic and calibration report in the field. You have fully automatic field registration in the field, and then many more. But the best way to apprehend it is to use it. So please get in touch with Optron, the team in Dubai. They'll be more than pleased to organize a demonstration live and for you to feel it, because having a look at PowerPoint is always nice to know it exists, but having the experience, the real life experience, is completely different, and you will love it, I can guarantee. And it's very easy to use, which is also a key point. Realworks, so Nike covers some of those elements. I will not spend too much time on that, but you can do really a lot with this, all those inspection, classification, and many more. As you can see, but Nike already covered all this. And TBSC, so Dennis will go through this. You had a glimpse at the connection about all the elements, and with the SX12 that I covered before, you can really go from Tumor Connect to the field, do some processing, and then back to the Connect and so on. But I think Dennis will cover all this. For the sake of time, I will skip one. So I will mention like tunneling that we cover. So collecting data in the field for tunnels application, but then processing, being able to produce reports SEM forwarding for mobile mapping, and many more applications with Trimble Business Center. You can really do a lot, and I'm sure we will be able to do also like a deep dive on TBC, but also like the Optron team of like experts that can really cover all those modules as well as I can do. So you're in good hands. Also, example of I was mentioning the Trimble SX12 before with the telecamera. That's an example from Portugal. And the customer asked us to collect data on the other side of the river Douro. And yeah, with the Trimble SX12, you can really at 300 meters away and get those type of details and be able to extract information. And you can do that in Trimble Business Center, same for stockpile. And you can also, of course, combine GPS or GNSS, total station leveling, SX12 mobile mapping into the same project and do some feature processing, extraction, even doing like some beam modeling inside Trimble Business Center, thanks to some modules that we have, tunnels for reporting, and mobile mapping data. But Ronald will cover all this. So I just wanted to show you some highlights and application about our portfolio. And I believe it will be very interesting for you. It's always very interesting when I cover this. I believe that's the feedback we got from the customers. So what are the key points of the Trimble X series portfolio and perspective in a nutshell? Stuff you shouldn't forget, and I really want to highlight them. It's what we call the 3A. I used to be like working to develop those solutions, so automatic full registration in the field. The system can auto-calibrate itself. This is unique. No other instrument can do that. It can auto-calibrate itself in the field with no special condition. You don't need to send it back to the manufacturing or to other company. It can calibrate itself. It can also like auto-level itself, which is again very unique. We have like an ultra efficient full in-field registration. So if I insist on the in-field, but that really completely changed the game of 3D scanning. The ability to do like a full registration in the field and being able to check all the data. And then of course you can add some labels, annotation, taking some measurement, produce some reports also, as well as exporting data directly from the field. You can just after put a USB key or put to the drive or to the cloud to export. Now, something I want to spend a little bit of time, the system X7, X9, we have like a 3 arcsecond leveling accuracy. So 3 arcseconds, maybe for most of you, is just a number. It's a key number. So we did a white paper about it to show you what it means. 3 arcseconds means if you want to do like a floor flatness or check the verticality of an object, you will get an error of 0.3 millimeter. It's 0.3 millimeter at 20 meter and 0.14 millimeter at 10 meter for a vertical surface. If any other system, you need like a total station or level with it to be able to do all this. But with the Trimble X7 and X9, that's 3 arcseconds. So it's just a nice number, but it's not just a nice number. It will allow you to provide professional and reliable result after. And you can do all this in the field. So very key aspect. If you want to have a look, please contact the team at Optron all over Africa. They'll be more than happy to come and show you the solution. It's not just words, it's really like facts, and we encourage you to have a look at all of this. Innovative and powerful. We have the laser pointer, which is unique to be able to do some geo-referencing in the field, as well as a specific high sensitivity mode that we developed to be able for you to be able to capture like areas or environment that were impossible to capture in the past because like too dark or too shiny. And thanks to that mode, you can capture this. And again, have a try and you will see what it can do. It's very simple to use, so just don't take my word because I've been doing this for a long time, but contact someone from Optron or other people from that are like Trimble. They will show you how to use it and you'll be able to do like a job by yourself in 10 minutes or even less. It's also very compact, lightweight, and it has a handle. It's not just like a feature to be taken lightly. I was on a project recently. I had to work for 3 hours. Of course, you can put it in a backpack or in your hand to carry it. It's very flexible. You can use a tablet, a phone, or one button workflow. And for Africa, because I used to go a lot into Africa, robustness is also very important. It's IP55 and can mark at -20, which can be important if you go in the mountains of Morocco, and the mountains of South Africa, or even Kenya or Tanzania, and +50. Africa can get hot and humid. So the scanner can really work like every day of the year for 24 hours too. And as we said, you have this 2 years warranty, and you can do your diagnostic and field calibration directly by yourself, which is also key. SX12, I talk already quite a lot about it on NICA as well, so I can just skip it. Control by thermal access, where you can import like IFC, compare in the field, and then export to TBC or thermal realbox after in the office. So I just would like to cover some of the application for the sake of time. I have like 5 minutes left to go through some of the applications. So there is the most common application, but I always like to say that you have to go above the box. So look above. There is more application that we discover every day. Like the one at the bottom, that's in Switzerland. They have to scan like a tank where they put some water inside for the cattle. So always some nice, funny application. Building construction, facility management. So we mentioned like flow flatness, inspection. It was like a museum here. They needed to collect some data because there was some flooding. So they need to know the location of all the assets also. Could be for renovation, for revamping. And the fact that with our Perspective software, you can register all the scans automatically in the field, save them a lot of time, and then they could guarantee before leaving the job site that they had like all the data needed. So have a look if you're doing some BIM, that's a common one. Have a look at the X7, X9 Perspective solution and X12, of course. Construction inspections, so we see more and more needs when people are building like new factories or new installation to be able to control or monitor, like a Christian we talk about, but could be like to compare with the 3D model in the field. So you can see that the view from the SX12, the thermal access, and you can do the scanning, and you can import the IFC in the field and make some inspection straight in the field. And then with the laser pointer, you can point to the area, you can mark them. And it's a big time saver, also like a game changer, because today with other solutions, you have to do that in the office and then back to the field. Here you can do everything in the field. Sorry if I say in the field a lot, because I'm very proud of the fact we can do many things accurately, precisely, professionally in the field. Industrial survey is where we come from. So we have our customers using our solution for many different applications, from piping to telecom towers to tunnel and so on. Thanks. The photo on top is the Optron team. It was before COVID, but still they had to wear some masks back then to go inside those tanks. So it's better to send a scanner than sending a human, but know that we can do all this directly, and not just collect data, but then produce results that are according to ISO, which is also like key for tank applications. The survey, so again, like offshore in Africa, there is many regions with oil and all those things. So sometimes you have installation, you need to be able to do some revamping, retrofitting, and do some inspection. So we have all the tools to capture the data, but also to do the modeling as well. Civil, stadium, bridges, roads. This is a road being built in Mexico, where they had to know like the conditions before laying the asphalt. So, and it was difficult to drive, so they use like a scanners. Same for renovating stadium. For the Rugby World Cup, if you come in France soon, we have nice stadiums because we also use our thermal technology to survey some of them. Naval automation. So again, that's also an example from South Africa, but could be any other place like in Congo or other places where people need to survey like ships, buildings for ballast studies or for renovating, and same for other applications like factories. Tunnels. So I don't know if I have time to talk about tunnels, but we have solutions for tunnels. We develop full workflow from the field to the office, back to the field, to be able for you to collect data when you build a new tunnel or for existing tunnels. So we have full solution with Trimble Access, dedicated tunnel module, and Trimble Business Center dedicated tunnel module. And because Africa, let's not forget about mining. We have the best instrument and software for your mining needs. Could be quarries, but also like underground. So just to finish, volume inspection related to mining. And then cultural heritage, Ronald also will cover this. We have many applications. There is many cultural heritage applications that needs 3D scanning for preservation as well. And forensics, I think the team in Upton did few projects relating forensics. We have full solution about all this. And having said this, I would like to end here and pass to Ronald so he can go through the mobile mapping portfolio. Thank you, everyone.